Okay, there's a lot of things happening, and this will be a heavy video for a lot of people, especially for us Christians. A lot of things are happening that makes you really want to. Anyways, let's get into the video. I'm not gonna say too much.
And let them take a picture before you can enter into premises. Look at this shit. Oh wow. Y'all won't get nothing out of here.
So they're calling this beast system. Specifically beast, not anything else. So it's out in the opening. They're not hiding it.
There's a coordinated global policy push for digital IDs as the new form of government-issued identification credentials. And they're essentially all based on your biometric data, which can be your fingerprints, your face, the iris of your eyeball. And the idea is essentially to collect all of that data and have it housed or have it tied directly to your digital ID. So your physical ID will be mapped to the digital ID. Digital IDs are not really a separate project from CBDCs and this new digital financial system. And UN documentation and also documentation from the Bank of International Settlements.
Don't be deceived when Trump said they're banning CBDCs and signed the Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act. That does not mean there won't be a CBDC. They changed the name. Stablecoins will do the same thing as the CBDC. They will be trackable, programmable money. What they're doing is making it to where the issuers of the stablecoins, aka CBDCs, will be private. There will be less or no regulatory clarity needed for corporations to enforce strict policies to track and surveil people. This is the digital dollar.
That's insane. So, freedom, what we have now is much more than freedom compared to whatever is coming. This is scary.
Recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also, tell us a bit about because you were right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you...
The over-reliance on AI is our downfall. It really is. And it's just hard to unsee how much is crumbling us. I don't know who thought it was a great idea. I don't know who or what entity. I'll say that. What entity?
Take advantage of these incredible AI models.
Stupid.
And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic...
These are evil people, man. Evil. Why do you need control? Why? And they're distracting us by making us idle, making us question liberal versus conservative. What's a man? What's a woman? And this is what is happening in the background. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares about it. We only care about race battles, gender battles, and battles that don't mean anything. But this is what they're putting in our faces, and nobody's talking about it.
data.
The first step is the UK. That's the testing grounds. After the UK, expect it to come to the USA and everywhere else. By now, y'all should know that's how it go. They test it in one country, then it's rolled out worldwide. If y'all need a website to look up things like the digital ID and biometrics, there's a website called biometricupdate.com where they give updates in real time about all of the changes that are happening worldwide. This country is implementing facial recognition. The updates with EU, no longer will you get stamps in your passport. They will have a digital passport, which demands your biometrics. All of these updates you can see on this website for every country.
These are introductions to what is coming. It will make it hard for you to buy and sell. It will make it hard for you to eat food. It will make it hard for you to enter buildings without being scanned, facially scanned. Nobody is talking about it. You have people in the comment section talking about my hair. We have people talking about, oh, blacks versus whites, but nobody is addressing this. When you search up this topic, there's maybe less than 20 videos. But if you talk about Drake gossip, there's like thousands of videos today. What's wrong with us?
Yes, family, this is really going down. They've been working on this kind of system forever, but especially since 1992. How do we get here? Let's take a step back into history. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 1992. At the Earth Summit, 178 governments signed Agenda 2030. At the time, it was called Agenda 21. At that time, George H.W. Bush was the president. This is the father of George W. Bush. We're talking about Bush Sr. Signed this agreement to put America in and a part of Agenda 2030. Fast forward, we're here. The 2000 agenda failed. This is the closest that they've gotten due to the technological updates that we now have. The technology advanced.
It's been happening before I was born. That's
This is their last shot at it, and they will take any means necessary to accomplish it. They know their time is close to being up. They want as many people to fall with them as possible.
What we're seeing today is what I call turnkey totalitarianism.
This guy sounds like frightened. I can hear it in his voice.
They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. None of them have been able to do it. They didn't have the technological capacity. Today, the mechanisms are being put in place that will make it so none of us can run and none of us can hide. Within 5 years, we're going to see 415,000 low-orbit satellites. Bill Gates says his 65,000 satellites alone will be able to look at every square inch of the planet 24 hours a day. Digital currency that will allow them to punish us.
How many of you are sitting down watching this and thinking, oh, this is great? How many? How many of you are sitting down and saying this is great? This is what happens when you just accept everything. When you don't say no. Your power, your rights, taken away slowly. They're taken away while promising you things. But guess what? Those promises will not be fulfilled. They won't. By now, you should be able to have seen signs of lying, right? Wrong, apparently.
From a distance and cut off our food supply. Every right that you have is transformed into a privilege contingent upon your obedience to arbitrary government dictates. It will make you a slave. And what do we do about this? What do? We
Nothing.
resist.
Nothing.
I'm going to tell you 3 rules.
I mean, you're saying we resist, but how many people will be behind you? How many people will actually do it? All those people in the crowd, you're just making a bunch of noise. The only thing that will help is actions behind all this. It doesn't matter how much I cry. It doesn't matter how much I yell and how much I say, oh, this is not fair. When the time comes to actually do something that will stop this, nobody is willing to do anything. It won't be one person. It has to be a collective.
You all need to know and memorize. Number 1, every power that government takes from us, it will never relinquish voluntarily. Number 2, every power they take from us, they will ultimately abuse to the maximum extent possible.
They're already doing that. They're already doing that. They're making us argue with each other about race, argue about gender, argue about what a man is, what a woman is. They're already doing that, and they're making celebrities be the forefront of things to distract us from what is happening. They're already doing it. They're already doing it in a very slick smart way. If they use that power for good, this world will advance so far.
Number three, nobody in history of the planet has ever complied their way out of totalitarian control. Every capitulation is a signal to the oppressors to impose new forms of torment or torture or compliance or obedience. Every time you comply, you get weaker. Bullies cannot be appeased. It just encourages them to new forms of torture and torment. Every time you say yes, you're getting pushed back to a weaker position. That's why we need to resist today.
It gets real when you can't put food on the table. It gets real when you can't pay your bills. It gets really real when you can't handle business. That's what this is all boiling down to. Ultimately, guys, this is why the Bible says no man will be able to buy or sell. It's not as simple as just going to a grocery store or selling off like a garage sale. No.
Nah, exactly. You will need this thing. They're calling it the beast system. Can you imagine? The beast. The word beast. They couldn't use another word. They had to use that word.
It's work. It's business. It's providing. It's taking care of the ones you love. It's keeping a roof over the ones that you love's head. It's keeping clothes on your back. It gets real bad, and it will push people into caveman ages if they do not comply with the mandates and the implementation. I only say this so that it could wake some of us up to the reality of the situation. Let's make preparations. Let's be ready to adapt to any given situation. Remember, guys, they need us in scarcity. They need you in scarcity. They need you dependent. So think on that. I'm not trying to scare you, but I want you to be.
But you know what? You're speaking facts. Because maybe with these kind of videos, I'm hoping that there'll be more people to speak on this. People will think, if most of us don't comply, maybe this thing won't be implemented so quickly. I'm just thinking right now. I'm just thinking. I'm not applying anything.
Aware of the tactics that are at play here. The Bible says to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. We got to use wisdom. They're using wisdom, and that's how
They're calling the serpent wise? Let me go back. I hope, did he say serpent?
They need you dependent. So think on that. I'm not trying to scare you, but I want you to be aware of the tactics that are at play here. The Bible says to be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. We got to use wisdom. They're using wisdom.
Wow.
And that's how they're able to run things behind
That's
the scenes.
deep.
We got to be smart as well and tap into the mind of God so that he can take care of us and provide for us. This reminds me of Joseph when he advised the Pharaoh that you should prepare for this famine by doing X, Y, and Z. So let us look at it through that same lens and be ready for this digital ID to come over here in the United States.
We also got to be like, no, building our ark, which is our foundation right now. They might not force it. And then some people might say this, so let me debunk this. Some people might say, well, it's not going to be by force. You're right. It won't.
Yeah, but still though. It won't be by force, but you won't be able to eat. You won't be able to, there'll be a lot of privileges taken away. That is the thing about it that is scary.
Be by force. But just like C-19, they'll limit what you can and cannot do. You can't buy food. You can't run a business. You
Yeah.
can't work a job. Can't pay taxes. Can't use social media. Can't use apps. Healthcare. For users to access insurance, treatment, monitor health devices, wearables. For care providers to demonstrate their qualifications. Financial services to open a bank account. Carry out online financial transactions. Food and sustainability. For farmers and consumers to verify provenance of products.
Farmers
ensure value
too?
And traceability.
Farmers? Man.
In supply chains, travel and mobility, to book trips, to go through border control between countries or regions, humanitarian response, to access service, to demonstrate qualifications to work in a foreign country, e-commerce, that's a big one, to shop, to conduct business transactions and secure payments, social platforms, for social interactions, to access third-party services that rely on social media logins, e-government, for citizens to access and use services.
I wonder where I got this. I definitely want to get a read on this, whatever site this is on.
Taxes, vote, collect benefits. How many people do you think will need to collect benefits and will get it just for that reason? Telecommunications, for users to own and use devices, for service providers to monitor devices and data on the network. Also, telecommunications, smart cities to monitor devices and sensor transmitting data such as energy usage, air quality, traffic congestion.
Air quality?
That's connected with a car.
Air quality? Man, that's crazy.
An emissions tracker. They'll be tracking your carbon footprint. This is all a part of the agenda, the 2030 agenda. You cannot tell me there's not.
2030? It's crazy, man. This should wake people up, really. I hope so, at least.
Y'all know what it is.
They're saying we're not going to force you to get the digital ID, but it's mandatory. You just can't pay your council tax, pay a bill, pay your mortgage, eat food, go to the doctors, fly on a plane, drive on a road. You just can't do anything without it. You can't breathe without it for your safety.
Bro, you can't breathe. We cannot take anything as a joke. We really can't.
Sir, please let me in.
Did anybody think, after that COVID year, did anybody think we'll get this far 5 years later? To the point of digital ID being even talked about? Did we think it would get this to this point? A lot can happen in 5 years. A lot.
To the Coliseum, please let me gamble. Please let me ruin my life. Okay, but you must get a digital ID. You must submit your biometrics to the government. You must let us monitor you. You must let us implement a social credit score. That's coming, folks, whether you like it or not. They're going to use your vices to their advantage to push their globalist agenda. Okay? They're not going to force it on you, but you're going to voluntarily get into it. Okay? It's like the COVID vaccine shit. Except this is permanent this time. That was a test run. You want to come into the stadium? You want to go buy your beer? You want to do all this shit? You gotta get the vaccine. But there was pushback. There was a lot of pushback from the United States, their citizens, and they eventually dropped it. Okay, it was kind of like the test run here. But
It was definitely the test run. And remember, people still were getting it.
Please, guys. Don't be idiots. Say no to it. Don't be idiots. Don't be idiots. And I know for sure pride will be the thing that makes people think we can handle this. Pride will definitely be the thing. For sure. For sure.
Imagine the people that got the jab just to go into a stadium or just to do something that they said you couldn't do. Some people got it just to go on vacation.
digital ID, they're not going to allow the test run. Okay, it's permanent. It's permanent. The social credit score, that's permanent. Okay, they don't care if you push back at all. Okay, but this time, Republicans, blah, 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 they will push for the digital ID. They will encourage it. We're kind of seeing how this is all working.
Probably gonna get cash incentives again too. UBI, mark my words, UBI will be done through the digital ID system, the B system. They'll give you rewards. Hey, if you sign up for the digital ID, I'll give you $1,000 free. Might be more than that.
Trump.
You cannot make decisions when you're desperate. You cannot make decisions when you're in survival mode. You can't. Because those decisions will ruin not only your life, but others' lives. You cannot make decisions when you're in survival mode. If they say, oh yeah, if you sign up, you get $1,000, that's a trap. I hope you know that.
What he supports, and then the sheep also think it's a good idea. Okay, they're testing all this stuff out right now, and then he's gonna come out and say it's good, and then everyone will get it. Everyone, it will be bipartisan. The digital ID is coming.
Even the elect will be deceived.
By the end of 2028, the United States will be digital ID. By the end of 2029, the UK will be digital ID. By the end of 2030, 60% of the world will be digital ID, run by corporations, run by power, run by the matrix. These are the last days of freedom. Your children and your children's children will not know how to be free. They were born into a world, into a system that everything is monitored. These are the last days of freedom. These are the last days of freedom.
I was gonna say, I don't want to keep watching this because it would just destroy my whole vibe for the rest of the evening. I'll just stop there. Hopefully this is something that makes you rethink a lot of things and makes you wake up. It certainly made me wake up. Anyways, that's it for my reaction. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more reaction videos. God bless.